If you're scrolling through endless outdoor furniture options because you just want something that actually works, a table and chairs that stay together when a summer thunderstorm rolls in, that feel comfortable enough for a family dinner, and that don't drain your wallet before the first barbecue, you're in the right place. I get why the decision feels heavy. A bad purchase can leave you with wobbling chairs, a rust-stained table, or a set that looks great in the catalog but disappears into a corner after a single season. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The Purple Leaf Outdoor Dining Set tries to hit that sweet spot of durability, style, and flexibility. It's a 12-piece arrangement, a rectangular aluminum table finished to look like teak, and 12 matching chairs. The biggest promise here is all-weather, meaning you can leave it out year-round without worrying about the paint flaking or the metal corroding. The set also markets itself as modular. You can keep the whole group together for a big dinner party, or split it into two smaller groups for a patio lounge and a balcony brunch. That kind of versatility is rare in the mid-range market, so it's worth digging into whether the claim holds up in daily life. First, let's talk about the material. The table frame is aluminum, which is a smart choice for outdoor furniture because it doesn't rust like steel, and it's lighter than wrought iron. The Teak-Finish is actually a powder-coated paint that mimics the warm grain of real wood. In the real world, that means you won't have to oil the surface every few months, but you also won't get the natural patina that true teak develops. If you're the type who enjoys sanding and resealing wood, this isn't the set for you. On the other hand, if you prefer a low-maintenance look that stays consistent, the powder coat does a good job of resisting fading, even after a season of harsh UV exposure. The chairs themselves are made from the same aluminum skeleton with a fabric sling seat. The fabric is marketed as quick-dry, and it feels breathable enough that you don't get stuck in a sweaty seat after a long summer evening. I've seen people complain about outdoor chairs that become soggy after a light rain. The sling here drains quickly, so you can push the set back under a pergola and it won't stay soaked for hours. That practical detail matters if you live in an area with sudden showers. The downside is that the sling can show wear sooner than a molded plastic seat. A few weeks of heavy use can start to stretch the material at the corners, especially if you frequently move the chairs around. Now, the modular claim. Because the table is a single piece, you can't break it down into smaller tables, but the chairs are independent, so you can arrange them in multiple configurations. In a real-world scenario, I've seen homeowners use 8 chairs around the main table for a family dinner, while the remaining 4 sit on a side table to create a casual lounge area. It works because the chair legs are relatively lightweight. You can slide them around without needing a second person. However, the set does come with a set of connecting brackets meant to lock the chairs together in a cluster arrangement for extra stability on windy days. Those brackets are a bit fiddly to snap on, and if you don't need the extra wind protection, you might as well leave them off. The trade-off is between a little extra assembly time and the peace of mind that the chairs won't drift apart when the wind picks up. Sizing is another practical angle. The table measures about 72 inches long and 36 inches wide, which fits comfortably on a medium-sized deck but will dominate a tiny balcony. The chairs sit a comfortable 18 inches apart when placed edge to edge, giving enough elbow room for most adults. If you're planning to host a crowd of 8 to 10, you'll need to be sure you have a clear rectangle of at least 8 by 10 feet. That's a common pitfall. People buy a large set and then discover they can't fit it through their back door or it overwhelms the space. The good news is the table's legs are designed to fold slightly for easier transport, though you'll still need a helper to lift the 60-pound tabletop onto a truck or into a storage shed. Value for money is where the set finds its sweet spot. At its price point, you're getting a full 12-piece set that would otherwise cost you 2 to 3 times as much if you bought each component from a high-end brand. The 4.4-star rating from 23 Amazon reviewers suggests that most owners are satisfied, but the sample size is small enough that you should still read through the few critical comments. People who left lower scores often mention the sling seat stretching over time. That's an honest warning if you anticipate daily heavy use. Conversely, the high-scoring reviewers praised the set's ability to stay looking fresh after a season of rain.